What's up, 10 Scale Squad? Today, all of our Axial SCX-24s are getting upgrades. Some pretty substantial ones as well. We have got wheels and tires and links and axles and magnetic body mounts because this Velcro is just it's just not doing it for me. Desired. So on this episode, we are going to upgrade all three of these bad boys. And what do you think? Take them for a rip?
Absolutely.
Heck yeah, let's do it. So first up on the Jeep, we are going to install these new aluminum links from Injora. And of course, you know, I had to get them in the red anodized aluminum.
Gotta match.
So this thing is going to have pretty much all aftermarket parts on it for the most part. I mean, this thing is already done up. Portal axles, brass weights, suspension, servo, freaking everything. And we're also going to be installing this from RC all-wheel drive. This is the magnetic body mount because this Velcro one, as you can see, the body doesn't really want to sit on there, and the Velcro's kind of annoying to deal with. And if you take it outside, it gets all dirty. So we're gonna
Actually, it's not even stuck to the other side. It's up here.
Yeah, you know, Velcro and RCs just usually isn't the best. I mean, you don't have to make it perfect. It's going to get replaced.
Yep. Oh, I know.
Then the C10 is going to get new upgraded axles. This thing is also pretty heavily modified. Wheels, tires, steering links, brass doodles, all the goods. Shocks, of course. So I do want to convert this to maybe even a brushless system. But before that, we're going to need to do some supporting mods, and axles is for sure going to be one of them.
Yep.
And finally, Ethan's Deadbolt is we are finally going to get rid of these wheels and tires, and check this out. These bad boys from RC all-wheel drive, these things are crazy heavy. These are really, really substantial, and I think we can still use the brass wheel weights on the inside of them. So we're gonna double team it with the weight on this thing, and I think it's going to transform the way this Axial SCX-24 performs. This one already has aluminum links and shocks, and Ethan is going like pretty sleeper with this thing. Like the links are black, the shocks are black, the wheels are black. It's gonna look pretty stock when you just look at it.
That's what I like about it.
And then you just won't be prepared for the savagery. So the axles in here, rather than having like a differential, it's actually like a worm gear. So there's it almost looks like a big screw inside the differential rather than, you know, like an input shaft and a ring gear and spider gears. So Ethan thinks that this should be a pretty easy swap, and I believe him. I think while Ethan is working on that, I am going to get to assembling the new wheels. These are 3-piece beadlock wheels, and yeah, it's quite a few screws to get the whole thing put together. So while he's doing that, I'm going to start wrenching on this doodle. Dude, these wheels are so nice. Just the machining on them is really, really nice. And for the tires, we are using these Injoras. They're actually the same tires that I have on the C10. What are they called? Extreme Mud Terrain. But they grip the crawler course that we have here really well. They're probably my favorite aftermarket tires for 24 scale crawlers. If you want to pick up any of this stuff for yourself, I'm going to put a link down in the description below, and you can experience the extreme mud terrains for yourself. All right, so I just got this wheel completely assembled, and boy, does it look nice. And I'm anxious to see if the brass wheel weights on the Axial will fit with the new RC all-wheel drive wheels. All right, so that's old wheel off, and oh my gosh, the difference in weight between these. This wheel makes this one feel like nothing. It just feels like air. Freaking awesome. And it's still got that stealthy kind of sleeper look to it. All right, so moment of truth. Will it fit? Yes! Oh my gosh, dude. This thing's going to be wicked. And I think it will space the wheels out just a little bit as well. So that should help with stability also. Freaking nice. So Ethan has made a incredible discovery, and it would appear as though the new axles, the bearings do not fit them.
No.
It doesn't fit over the shaft. Does it go in from the other way?
No.
No. And it also doesn't fit. There's also another bearing in there, like on the inside of the diff. Well, there you can see it. And it doesn't fit through that bearing either. So I'm not sure what is happening there. We'll have to do some investigating. So the bearings will fit some of the shafts, but not all of them.
Yeah.
Ethan thinks that it might be just like a machining problem.
Yeah.
Like, it's very strange. And there aren't new bearings in the bag. Like, there's new wheel nuts, new hexes. I'm not 100% sure. It seems odd. Whoo! There we go. Brand new shoes, and this thing is heavy. Yeah, and it's got a little bit wider track width now and some really aggressive tires. Now, it's also worth mentioning these tires are actually foam filled, where the old ones there was nothing inside of them. It was just tire on rim. So these feel so much more supple and nice. Freaking love it. We've mostly abandoned all hope for the C10 with the drive shafts, which is a bummer because I was really looking forward to having a little bit wider track width just to keep the tires away from the body, because ever since I did the modifications, the tires do rub on the body, even though I chopped quite a bit out. So yeah, a little bummed about that. I'm gonna have to get in touch with RC all-wheel drive and see what the heck the problem is there. So we'll definitely need to return to this one. But Ethan is busy taking apart the Jeep, putting on the new links from Injora. And these are the offset links. So the idea behind these is it kind of gets the links up out of the way for more ground clearance. And, you know, it's going to look pretty cool too. So all of these links have these little rubber bushings on either end. So you have to go through and get those tiny little rubber bushings on the doodles, and it's kind of tedious. It's kind of a pain. But I think the end result will be worth it, because links on SCX-24s, that's been like one of the biggest upgrades as far as like stability of the chassis. It's one of my favorite bang for buck upgrades over like wheels and tires. So while Ethan is fixing all my toys, I'm gonna go through and keep putting the little rubber bushing doodles on all of the ball ends. Focus, yeah, those things. Look how flimsy these links are compared to this, which, I mean, you know, you're not bending that. And keep in mind, we have just about every aftermarket upgraded aluminum part on this, so the truck was pretty heavy. And even when it was crawling over stuff, I mean, these things were just Betty spaghetti. No bueno. Oh, yeah. Dude, the thing is looking mean. We just got to replace that stupid Velcro mount with this nice aluminum magnetic mount, and we should be ready to roll. Now, the magnetic body post is super simple. Easiest thing we've done tonight. Literally just screw the posts into the top plate for the magnet, and then screw the magnet onto the little top plate thingy. And then you just shove the doodle into the dingus, just like that. Make some fine adjustments, and then screws go in through the side into the post right there. Then the magnets go on top. The kit comes with these handy dandy little 3M double-sided sticky tape doodles that you just stick on the magnets, and then you peel the top, put the body on, peel that stupid Velcro off of there. Yeah, be gone. And then struggle with the 3M tape for about 5 minutes.
Seal her up.
Yeah, dude. Boom. Boom. So satisfying. Nice. And the front end is much more lined up now. Freaking love it. Look at how freaking awesome that is. Not much left to do on this, just drive shafts and motor and, I don't know, maybe chassis rails. And this will be pretty much a completely, totally custom SCX-24. So here you can see those links and look at that ground clearance. I mean, even without the portal axles, these links alone, make a difference. And the Jeep with the long wheelbase, I gotta say, like, it's a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. When I drove it in its stock form, I wasn't super impressed, but now I really like the long wheelbase. I mean, it definitely does have its drawbacks though. Like, the turning radius isn't great, so I have to do like 3-point turns in a lot of places where normally a normal SCX-24 could just, you know, make the turn, like right here. Like, it's got to be a 5-point turn. But it definitely gives you the legs to really crawl over some steep stuff. And keep in mind, with those portal axles, it's actually got a wider track width. Yeah, get up there. Oh, can I make it? Dragging one wheel, yes. And with those aluminum links, it just doesn't lumber along like it used to. It feels like much more stable. Yeah. Oh! And here is the Deadbolt on its brand new wheels and tires. I am excited to see how this thing performs. It is crazy heavy now with those weighted, oh yeah, it goes right up. The most challenging part of that, no problem. The Jeep can't do that, just for comparison. Yep, with those links, the weighted wheels, and the wheel weights, the thing is really planted. That's a pretty extreme side hill. And it wants to, a little bit more ground clearance. The pumpkin's dragging there. But, come on, wheel speed. Let me turn it up into high gear here. Come on, wheel speed. It's going, but I'm not lined up very well. Oh, look at it, just hanging on. This is really impressive. We weighed both of them, and the Deadbolt now weighs more than the C10. Look at that. Look at that. Wider track width, but still plenty narrow enough to get across the narrow bridge here. Yes, beautiful. Just the crawl angle, especially the side angle, is absolutely insane with this thing. Here's a giant cliff that we can just go right down into. Yep, come on. Yep, I'm giving it full right, but the servo just doesn't have enough in it. So keep in mind, this is all still stock electronics. Yep, it's not gonna do it. I think a stronger servo might be next for this thing. Come on, can we get through there? Can we get through there? Through the tight canyon? Yes. Oh yeah, and after that, it's just like cheating. A little bit of a 3-point turn there. You line it up on the bridge. Absolutely flawless. Love it. When we do timed laps around the crawler course, I think this thing is really going to shine because you can really drive it like an absolute moron. You know, just go full hammer down, and the thing just loves it. Yeah, I'd say it crawls up some pretty steep terrain. Well, 10 Skill Squad, there you have it. What do you think? I'll tell you what I think. Tedious.
Yeah.
Tedious.
Yeah,
oh my gosh. So many itty bitty teeny tiny little screws. So many, you know, putting it on once and taking it off and until you get it right. Yeah, it's a lot of that. But the end result is pretty fantastic. And if you're no stranger to the 10 Scale Squad, you know that we run these things quite a bit. You know, we've ran them stock, we ran them with just a few modifications, and everything in between. And yeah, I mean, something like links, wheels and tires with wheel weights, I mean, it makes a huge difference in the performance of these things. So if you're thinking about it, Definitely can't recommend it enough. You can really dial in some pretty spectacular performance out of these. And oh my gosh, they just look so much cooler. Upgrading to aluminum wheels from plastic rims is just so choice. Do it. I'm gonna put a link to where I got all this stuff down below, and you can check it out for yourself. And let me know what you've done to yours. Send me pictures of your SCX-24s or your mini crawlers or your full scale stuff too. Check us out. Follow us over on Instagram or Facebook at 10th Scale Garage. And if this is your first time checking out the channel, welcome. I'm glad you found it. We like to do RC shenanigans like this all the time. We've got some wicked stuff coming up. You're going to want to stick around. All right, guys, until next time. Where are we chopping? I got blisters on my fingers.
Dude, for real.
Jiminy crickets.
Chopping blisters over here.